Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and it's time for the bulk review. Look at this dookie fat stack right over here. All right, look at that. All them comic books. Yeah, that's right. Hey, should I change the name of this from the bulk review to the dookie fat stack? Because I could do that. I'm just I can make a song about everything. But before I actually get to this dookie fat stack, what I'm going to do is, oh yeah, a bunch of people start complaining. Hey, Professor, you didn't read this one? First off, I forgot about it. Second off, yo man, what up with that? So anyway, yeah, I forgot to grab this comic book. Oops, happens. Forgot my Detective Comics issue, what is that, 1214? I think that came out, that was the issue that came out this week. I'm just going to say, really good comic book. I did a review, even though I didn't have the book in my hand because I went off of my memory and whatnot. Still haven't gone back to the comic book store. They're probably completely out of them by now, but I am going tomorrow. Which will actually be today. By the time I'll be there when you're doing this thing. So anyway, let's get talking about this, guys. We got Marvel, Spider-Man, issue number 2, from J.J. Abrams, Henry Abrams, Sarah Pichelli, and Dave Stewart. The whole comic book was actually really good. No, except for the very end. I'm going to get to that in a hot minute. I know there's going to be a lot of people getting pissed off at this kid who's, saying all these bad things about his dad, Peter Parker. Yeah. Sorry, that's kind of what teenagers do. Male, female, you know what I'm saying, boys, girls, whatever. That's what they do. They get pissed off at their parents for any old reason, whatever, and they just think this is the worst parent in the world until they grow up and they start to realize a little bit more, oops. That's what teenagers do. So it's cool, man. It's cool. Seriously is. We get to see him use his spider sense for the first time. I was kind of hoping that would be a bigger deal in this. By the time you get to the very end, there's the commentary here about, oh, I thought he'd just be some guy with a beard and missing a hand or something like that. That was a little bit too on the nose, and it didn't make sense. I'm not exactly sure why an adult would have a problem with somebody wearing a beard, especially since this guy's wearing a beard. Nah, that just didn't work out for me. So it's a shame. The very ending is the part that didn't stick in a Spider-Man comic book. Screw you and my crappy puns. Anyway, so yeah, that was that. I finally got to that. Sorry it took so long. So let's talk about some of the books that I did read that were pretty awesome, and I did a review for them. There was the Batman Superman issue 3. Yes, issue 3. Bit surprising. What else we got here? We got something that's related to that, and I'm gonna throw that out real quick and do the review for that one if I can find it down here. The Shazam, yeah, the Black Adam. So Year of the Villain. Oh my God, this stuff is heavy. Year of the Villain, Black Adam. There's a one shot, and this was an okay comic book. Had some good messages in there. Unfortunately, the art just did not do it for me. Really did not do it for me. Inaki Miranda on the art. Dude, the whole thing felt like John Romita Jr. Like, the cover was John Romita Jr. And I genuinely don't see too much of a difference between the inside and the outside. I mean, this just is not great for me. Not great. The writer is Paul Jenkins. Good job. Colors, hi-fi, letters, Tom Napolitano. Man, this just crushed my soul, man, because, there was so much here. The idea of making, to me, I've seen the story done so many times, although I've never actually made the story myself. I've never even wrote fan fiction of Black Adam, but I mean, his stories, the best stories always involve him not kicking butt and taking names, but being a totally awesome leader who doesn't back down from anybody because everybody knows that he's the big tough guy. Nobody's concerned with seeing Brock Lesnar going up against some, teenage kid because it's who cares? Obviously, Brock's going to win, right? Similar situation here with Black Adam. And he's usually displayed as being a bit more powerful than Shazam. So I just don't see why this is such a big deal on this, even though he had to use trickery to win, and it was kind of cool the way that he did it. I dug that. Plus, he used his people to help him out with that. I enjoyed so much of this. Unfortunately, it's just the delivery on certain aspects. The book didn't have to be as long as it was. At least they didn't make this a 6-issue limited series. Can you imagine that? Really drawing it out. But The art, unfortunately, that's what really killed us. So I'm sitting here reading this comic book, and even the good parts, I'm just looking at this art going, why? Why? Unfortunately, it's not the kind of art, for me at least, that I can just get over by the end of the issue. Nah, unfortunately, it just didn't happen. Batman Curse of the White Knight, issue number 4 from Black Label. A whole bunch of Black Labels coming out. And it's a shame because lately the Black Label books are some of the only books that are actually any good from DC anymore for over the past couple of months. I'm really disappointed at that, but in the meantime, I got to give it to books like this, man. Really good. Aquaman Annual number 2. This was a fun book. I think we need more fun Aquaman books. So yeah, no complaints about that. Kelly Sue DeConnick and Vita Ayala doing that. Ibanez doing the art, and Ramos I think was doing the colors on this. This was a very fun book, and with the most recent Aquaman movie that was out, very good. You go check out the individual review for that. Also an individual review, issue number 25 of the Hulk. Listen, man, I'm going to say this again. It was a fairly boring issue, but make no mistake, like a lot of people didn't really catch on to what I was trying to say. While the issue for the most part, except for the last 2-3 pages, was rather boring, the fact of the matter is there was some crucial story woven in there. Plus, it's a beautiful story in and of itself. So while it's slow and it's not what you'd expect from the typical Immortal Hulk book, it's not a case of, oh, this book sucked. No, this book did not suck at all. This was a really good story in here. It just wasn't necessarily an Immortal Hulk story. The idea is that the one, and for some reason, like, people really don't listen to my reviews when I talk. I specifically said, the one above all has consumed the Immortal Hulk. And now the one above, or the one below all, is inside of the shell, the body, the husk of the Immortal Hulk. And he's going around killing people. So maybe there's some of the Hulk in there. I don't know. Like the green door has been, like, not just open, it's been kicked down and burnt. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I enjoyed the hell out of this book. I genuinely did. I think that you will too. Just, you got to understand that the bulk of this story is some other story until the Hulk actually shows up. So, moving on, I am so glad that this book was good. And I'm talking about the art. Like, I just talk about the art, all day. I love, like, the pencils on this were good. They were good. I'm not complaining about the pencils and the inks on this. I got to say it again, though, all right? Federico Blee, this is one of those comic books where you get to see how important this guy is to the art process. The ability that this guy has to actually make it's not just, he's throwing down some images and maybe doing a little bit of shading on the side or some highlights. No. He's actually defining the faces. He's defining the bodies and everything on here. While usually that's the penciler who does that, not in this case. So no complaints about the art. Just the colors on this were exceptional. That being said, like, maybe people like Blee, and not just Blee. There are others too who do great art also. Paul Mounts is one of them. Oh, look, Immortal Hulk, right? But getting some good color artists to help out with pen and pencil guys who just aren't that skilled at what they're doing yet. They need a little bit more training and whatnot. Put them with these guys. You're golden. Anyway, Marauders itself was a really fun comic book. All of the X-Men comic books, all of the Dawn of X books that are coming out, even when it's going to be 2 a week, I'm going to be doing all of those live for the foreseeable future, at least, because it's a lot of fun being able to do that live, just coming right out. I always do everything one take anyway, so that's why I leave into uhs and all that stuff. Just is what it is. I don't do the whole thing where I do the stop, cut, move things out. No, you hear everything that I do. So it's easy enough doing it live anyway, but easier to actually get it out, less to process, and being able to interact. Blah. I should just cut that out, right? That stuff is easier for me to do, and it's fun for me to actually be able to interact with you guys like that. You guys got questions, I got answers. Okay, let's move on a little further with Contagion, issue number 4. Always disappointed when good events like this, the small events, don't get a whole lot of press, when they don't get a whole lot of love from the peeps. I'm telling y'all, this was a really good issue, man. All these are good. There's only one more issue left, and that's it. So 5 issues, boom. You want to read it in a trade paperback, be my guest. But these are really fun. Let's move on, and we will talk about King Thor, issue number 2. This was a surprisingly good issue. While I didn't like the first issue very much, and I'm really just ready for the King Thor stuff to be over. You know what I'm saying? All this, like, if Jason Aaron's run is going to be over, just let it be over, man. Like, I just, whatever. That's how I feel. But then again, while I'm reading this issue, yeah, I enjoyed it. Go and check out the review for this, and just, piecemeal together the idea that I want it to be over, but I am having fun while this is still going. The whole brother versus brother thing is so done to death, and the idea that Thor is still looking for Loki to redeem himself just kills me sometimes. But getting to see Thor shoot lightning out of his mouth, I mean, that just that's gonna make any comic book good. Okay, here's a book that I really just didn't like. Another individual issue for this. Issue number 25 of the Avengers, the finale of the challenge of the Ghost Riders. This just stunk. This just stunk up the room. I still got windows open, airing the place out after opening this comic book. I'm really disappointed, and unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's like Jason Aaron has the ability, much like the King Thor and all of his Thor run. I feel like he has the ability to really get you excited at first, but then he doesn't quite know how to end something on a good note. And some things he just doesn't know how to write very well, He kills it in in the Conan books, right? But then at the end of the Conan books, what does he do? He always throws in that red witch thing with the 2 little stupid albino twins, and I'm just like, dude, enough already. Enough. Can you just tell the cool Conan story and stop reminding us that he's on a death? Like, I just don't care. So yeah, he's very hit or miss. All right, another individual review. This was later in the week. Well, actually, the next day, Thursday, this came out. The review came out. Issue number 32 of Amazing Spider-Man. Really good issue here. The 2099 stuff is happening. We're good. Somebody going to make fun of me. You're real cute. I said the year after 2099 is 3000. Yeah, oops. It's obviously 2100, and I checked my math on that one. Anyway, shut up. So, even the professor is allowed to make mistakes once in a while, man. So, The Amazing Mary Jane, issue number 1. Leah Thompson on this. Leah Williams on this. The Carlos Gomez and Carlos Lopez on art. Really good book, man. This is a whole lot of fun. You're not going to see a whole lot of superhero hijinks in this. It's just some really good story. It's not all about exposition, although Quentin Beck, the Mysterio, does exposition a lot. But the book is just fun, man. There's some stop and funny moments. There's a dance break in this, a 20-second dance break. It's Mary Jane, man. When I say that, I'm just saying, oh, somebody's running a Mary Jane story. No, this is Mary Jane. She's in here and she's just having fun. She's a carefree spirit who's still smart enough to think, a couple moves past the end of her nose. I mean, this is a fun comic book. I really like this. Let's move on. We'll talk about Ghost Spider. Yeah, check that out. How you doing? This is a great... I commented on how much I love this, especially this little part right here. But I love this cover. But this is also a really good comic book, man. Go and check that out. A little tiny bit of spoiler here. There's a little bit of lycanthropy, all right, in this book, and I'm digging on it. All right, it's not Ghost Spider. She doesn't turn into a Drider or something like that. But this is awesome. I like this. I really love the Ghost Spider book, man. Sana Maguire is on there. I enjoy this. And the review that just came out this morning, issue number 81 of The Flash. Wow, this kind of broke my heart a little bit in a very positive way. A character got redeemed in this book, for me at least. I'm all about forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? I actually believe in forgiveness. So, yeah, wow. Okay, the books that I didn't get to. Absolute Carnage, Lethal Protectors, issue number 3. This is the first book that Absolute Carnage book that I didn't do a full review on because I just don't care enough about this. This book kind of disappointed me a lot. The art was pretty damn good. Who's on the art team? Get the fuck out of here. Federico Blee's on this again. Gee, what does that tell you? So is it more than just the color? It's more than just the colors that's good on this, though. Like, Flaviano's a good artist. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people aren't going to be, like, overly enthused by him. But, no, I like Flaviano's art. So I did like a lot of this. This is it's kind of like a little bit of a redemption story, but it's for a character who's already a superhero. And I'm talking about Man-Wolf. Like, Man-Wolf is that character. It's like, dude, everybody knows he's a hero. I think. Anybody who knows his character knows he's a very tragic hero. He doesn't want to be evil. But he's got this evil lycanthropy curse on him. So, I mean, what's he supposed to do? And it's from, like, a space god demon. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the frick? This guy never had a chance. And yet he still tries. He tries his ass off. This was, I should actually show you some of the art in here because, wow. So, nope, can't show you that scene because that wouldn't be good. Oh, I could show you this, though. When Iron Fist lets loose, crack, boom! Oh, man. This is really good. Demogorgon is in here. Demo Goblin is in this. Yeah, this was a fun book, man. I really enjoyed this. Let's see. Let's move over to, okay, this one killed me. Action Comics issue number 1016. Here's the problem. I didn't actually read this comic book. I opened it up. I saw some of the stuff inside. I saw right away Brian Michael Bendis starts advertising his own stuff in here, and the Year of the Villain stuff. And then he goes down here, and he what is it? Whatever. There's something else in here. I just don't care. But there's like just some stuff in here that really kind of annoyed me. So I just kind of flipped through the comic book a little bit to move on and see, was there something that's going to catch my attention and make me happy? Was there? And unfortunately, no. There's something that just actually wound up making me even more pissed off. There's the Sven Gulli stuff. I love this Sven Gulli stuff, man. Let's see. Crap. You're not going to show it to me, are you? Okay, anyway, it's they're doing Millennial right now, and yeah, they're advertising all of his books, and it's like, dude, why are you trying to push this stuff on us? Why can I never remember the name? The Justice League of the Future, so to speak. Wow, see, this is why I should probably consider editing some of my stuff. Anyway, the Legion of Superheroes. Son of a bitch, like the damn thing is in here. Where is, oh my god, it's at the end. I thought it was in the beginning. Anyway, the Legion of Superheroes, all right? And it says on here, a quote from Brian Michael Bendis. This is the biggest thing I've ever done in comics. Congratulations, Mr. Bendis. You literally just made it that I have absolutely no interest in even addressing issue number 1. So when issue number 1 of Legion of Superheroes comes out, I will probably not be reviewing it. If I do, it'll be one of these Dookie Fat Stack reviews. The bulk reviews. Anyway, yeah, that alone, when I got to there, I'm just like, you know what? Screw this book. I had no interest in going back and I just flipped through it and I was looking at all the pages. I got to that. I read that. I was like, yeah, I have no interest in going back and reading this. Like, Bendis just seriously turned me off in the worst possible ways. Yeah, so issue number 3 of Agents of Atlas. This was a fun issue. I didn't read through the whole thing, but there was some, like, I read through the first part. I didn't bother reading the New Avengers part. I can't get into the New Avengers stuff on here. This is, I feel like it's almost a little bit too diverse. Like Giant Man, Raz Malhotra. I guess it's important for him to be in the book too. He is an Asian character. I actually forgot that he was Indian. So Southeast Asia. I don't know, man. I feel like this is fun, but maybe there's just too many characters in here. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, but there's more than that. Oh, no, there's Wave there. So 11 characters. I think that at some point, man, there's just a little bit too much going on. There's only supposed to be like 5 or 6 issues of this. This is issue 3 again. If they were to make this ongoing, and I think that this should be an ongoing, make no mistake, but the way that I would improve this book, the way that I would approach the book, is I would make it much like what what's his name, Jim Zub does over in Agents of Wakanda, where it's just here's 4 characters in this particular issue and maybe even this arc, where they'll communicate once in a while with some of the other characters, but for the most part, this arc is just these 3 or 4 characters. And then you go on to another arc later, another 6 issues, 4 or 5 issues if you want, whatever, and it's just focusing on these characters instead. And you get a good rotation of the characters. And sometimes this team and this team, they split in half and they form together. Just something like that. Just having all of them at the same time. You can't paint 10 walls at once. You can't paint a whole house at once. You take it room by room, wall by wall. And this is literally just taking a big old bucket of paint and just it's not how you do it. That's not how you should be doing a comic book. This right here, Luna Snow, issue number 1, that's the In-Hyuk Lee cover, in case you're wondering. God, that is gorgeous. Let me tell you something. This was a really fun book. This is, I go and check out Comic Book University. Luna Snow explained in a minute. I think that was about a minute. Maybe it was 2 minutes, but whatever it was. It was a really good book. Let me crack this puppy open. Oh, there's also the Future Avengers in this. Listen, man, F the Future Avengers. I've got, maybe they're amazing, but I have no interest in even looking them up. There's also a variant cover, if I remember correctly, about the Future Avengers. Let me actually get to a good page in here. Here we go. You can actually see the artwork in this. This is a beautiful comic book. I really love this comic book. Like, it's not just about how beautiful the art was, but the story. Even though I know the origin of Luna Snow, I mean, I did a video on the origin of Luna Snow. The idea is that it was actually such a beautiful book that, and it explained more into her origin, which I expected them to. It's a weird kind of way that they give her name, but if you do like this character, the ending of this book where she actually gets her name, it's a real choke up moment. I choked up a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I choked up a little bit with this character. I don't even play the stupid video game. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to get triggered. It just said a stupid video game. What I'm saying is I don't even play that video game. I don't. It just seems so redundant. It's not even button mashing. It's screen swiping all over the place. I don't know how to do all the moves, so I don't bother playing it. I suck at playing video games. That's why I'm Comic Book University, not Video Game University. I can play Legend of Zelda if you want, like the original, but I've never even beaten the second part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I love the comic book. I genuinely love that comic book. And like I said, when you get to the end, it's a really good moment. Okay, here's something I could live without. Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle, this one's called. This is a fat comic book. It's like an 80-page comic book. If they told me it was 130 pages or 120 pages, I would believe them. It's a big book. You want to see all the people involved in this? Yeah. They're doing one of these Marvel number 1000 books, the Marvel number 1001 books. They did another one also in between those two, but this is something that Marvel seems to be doing a lot. This is a little bit different. It's not just one page for each of these people. It's actually like, here's this section, and then this section, and this section. They're all written by somebody else. It's cool. It's great to see how this story all gets put together. Whatever. It was kind of a fun story. I see this, and there's a new version of the Punisher in here that is somehow, it doesn't look like he was attached to the Ultimate Nullifier, but he was attached to the Ultimate Nullifier. Really awesome costume. You know, I just got my Capwolf toy in not too long ago. Sorry, got to be politically correct. My Capwolf action figure. It's a toy. I play with me. I make him do the little arr and throw the shield and stuff. It's awesome. Anyway, it looks like now they're going to have to make a Spidey Wolf character figure because, oh, look, that shows up in here also. I'm not saying this wasn't a fun book. What I am saying is this was an unnecessary book. You know what I'm saying? This is just Marvel figuring, hey, we can make some good money off of just paying some money to this guy, and we'll get like a joint process going, a joint product. That's cool and all. It's not really up my alley, though. If it's up yours, you'll probably love the book. I thought it was okay. A book that I didn't think was even remotely okay was The Ultron Agenda Part 2, issue number 17 of Tony Stark Iron Man. You notice that Christos Gage is the co-writer on this? And Jim Zub is like, F it, I can't be doing this anymore. I didn't talk to Zub for a while, so I don't know why he's not on this. His original explanation to me was that he was just helping Slott to stay on target with his dates and whatnot to make sure the book comes out regularly up until Iron Man number 2000 or Iron Man 2000 comes out. You know, but until then, it's like, so he just left early. He's got too many other projects he's doing. I get it. Zub's a busy guy, is what it is. Slott, I don't know what's going on with Slott. I've loved his stuff in the past, but now he actually needs people to help him get his books out. That just doesn't make sense to me, dude. Jocasta winds up looking like Henry Pym / Ultron in this, with like half Jocasta, half human. Yeah. This one kind of killed me. I love the cover. Wonder Woman issue number 81. Love the Jenny Frison cover on this. But this comic book was a little bit pointless. I think this is the last, I think and hope this is the last issue for G. Willow Wilson. It just wasn't doing it for me, man. Wonder Woman had all of her stuff lost, and I was hoping that was going to be an amazing thing. Turns out it's just because she's getting an upgrade. She's getting a brand new suit where certain of her body parts seem to be glowing white. Are they hot also? I don't know. But yeah, this was an okay book. Atlantiatis actually winds up becoming the new god of love. What do they call it? God of love? Goddess of love? Whatever. I guess they're trying to make it whatever. Who cares? The God Killer sword gets shattered in this point, which is cool because it only winds up coming back. Cheetah finally winds up getting sent to jail. Like she actually gets sent to jail, I know, but on Themyscira. So she gets her wish. She's always wanted to go to Themyscira. Now she goes to jail. Here's the thing that bugged me about this. Why does she go to jail? She goes to jail because she killed Aphrodite. You know, she's killed a lot more than just Aphrodite in her time. She's killed plenty of humans before, and apparently us humans are pointless. Who cares? We suck. Oh, some of you guys die. It's Cheetah. You know, Minerva's my friend. Whatever, man. Dude, seriously? Seriously? Like, that's the way it's got to be? Go check out my my Cheetah Explained in a Minute on Comic Book University. There's like 5 of them. Technically 4. Well, actually 4, but technically 5. Anyway, there was a male version once. Yeah, I just didn't dig this. I didn't dig this. The only part I actually liked, but only to a degree, was Atlantiatis actually wound up becoming the new god of love, and you know, replacing her mom, their mom, Aphrodite. I like I mentioned earlier on, I am a fan of redemption, so I'm cool with that. I hate the Atlantiatis character. I can't even remember character's name now. Atlantiatis. I'm not a huge fan of the Atlantiatis character. You know what I'm saying? Because of what has happened in the past. I'm one of those type of people who believes you can forgive, but don't forget. Because that's how you wind up getting screwed a second time. Because people don't change immediately. They can change. I do believe people can change, but they don't always change immediately. It's like if somebody winds up hurting one of my kids, I'm not going to be like, you know, oh, you apologize? Well, I forgive you. Yeah, I'll forgive you, you know, depending on how bad you hurt my kid. Like, wasn't an accident, you know, something like that. But make no mistake, me forgiving you doesn't mean you get to babysit my kids. That's just not going to happen. You don't get to ever see my kids again. If I'm walking down the street and you're walking the other way, you damn well better cross the street because I forgive you. But don't you ever talk to my kids anytime soon because, dude, no, wrong answer. You hurt somebody. Just stand back, you know? Yeah, that's just my belief system. And with Atlantiatis, I do believe in redemption. So good. Hopefully this responsibility will actually rub off in a good way on them, on Atlantiatis, because, yeah, needs something to make Atlantiatis a better person. So, Punisher, Kill Krew, issue number 4 of 5. I loved this book. And it does deserve an individual review. Of all the books I didn't review individually, this one I feel like I kind of wanted to. Wow, this is good. Dane Whitman in this. There was a scene here that I opened up to it, where the main bad guy they're looking to take down winds up using a human rocket launcher and taking out Juggernaut. I'm sorry, that would not even do half the damage. Not even that that would almost do a third of the damage that would be required to knock Juggernaut back. And no, that was just a little bit too much for me. But aside from that, this was great. And any book that's got Dane Whitman being a straight badass in this, Dane Whitman kills a bunch of monsters in this, and apparently killing trolls and Svartalfheim dark elves. That's okay. That's not going to cause the blood curse to show up on Dane. That's weird, man, but whatevs. Justice League Dark, issue number 16. Another really good issue. The thing that stuck out the most to me this issue was not actually the writing. It was actually the art. Beautiful art in here. Look at what Cersei does to Wonder Woman. Just look at that, man. Gaze at that beautiful art. Holy crap, that is amazing. Yeah, the art in this was out of this world. Constantine's back, but most of their heavy hitters are taken down. And I don't know what Wonder Woman's going to do right now, but she's all over the place. Literally. We got GIJoe, issue number 2. I was not really looking forward to this comic book. I really wasn't. I'm so glad I got it, though. So glad I got it because it really picked up off the last one. Scarlet winds up, is that Scarlet or Lady J? I think it's Scarlet. Anyway, winds up beating the crap out of Tiger, that kid Tiger. And he's trying to do everything he can just to get one punch back on Scarlet, who trained him. And his whole team is trying to help him out. And at one point, a fight winds up breaking out between Scarlet and Jinx. I think that's Scarlet. Again, it might be Lady J. I forget. But I'm just going to keep saying Scarlet. So Jinx, who I've only ever seen in the movie, the GIJoe the movie, gets into a fight with her. And they're holding her down. And then the kid Tiger, he's like, now's my chance. I about died when I read that, dude. That was such a great scene. Such a good scene. And it really, like, the whole book was good. That just put the book over the top. All right, Second Coming. Second Coming is a really... they got the Virgin cover on the back. I forget that they do that. Really fantastic book. Mark Russell is on this, Richard Pace, and Leonard Kirk. There we go. I finally get to the names, and I already remembered everybody's names. Andy Troy, I didn't remember, and Rob Steen. That's the colorist and letterer, respectively. But, yeah, Russell and Pace book. I love this book, man. Absolutely love this. Jesus actually finally gets to read the New Testament, from prison. Remember what happened last time Jesus went to prison, right? In the New Testament. And he talks about how the worst thing he ever did was the miracles, because people focused on the miracles. I disagree. He already mentioned, I think, the worst thing that he ever did, and that was dying for man's sins. He doesn't actually mention the dying for man's sins thing, but raised as a good Catholic boy, that's why he died, man. He died for man's sins. But either way, I think that it was pretty cool that he mentions a couple things. He mentions that when he died, he left it in the hands of others to tell his story. And yeah, it really did. So that was really good point. Issue number 6 of Sharkey the Bounty Hunter. It ended exactly the way it should. I can't wait till it comes to here. It literally ended the exact way that it should. Also, Edra Deering, I think the main bad guy, they thought was the main bad guy in this, ends up on Earth, and she's going to go and try and clean up Washington, D.C. Oh, hells yes. I want to read that. I want to read that series, man. Just go make a one-shot of that, and I will definitely read it. Last, but certainly not least, I got my Pornhub review, which is up now, live, and I check out Money Shot by Tim Seeley and Beatty, Sarah Beatty, I think that is, and Isaacs on art. And this was a very fun comic book. I think there should have been more nudity. There wasn't nearly enough nudity in this. It's my opinion, man. Whatevs. What do you call it? There's this cool variant cover here, and also I open up and show you this Mirka and Dolfo exclusive variant cover, which is, well, what do I have to say about that? It's Mirka and Dolfo. Of course it's amazing. So, yeah, really good issue for a first issue. I really liked that. So definitely consider checking these out. Anyway, guys, some of those reviews are up, like as far as individual reviews. Other ones you saw I did right here. And that is my Dookie Fat Stack. That's my bulk comics review for the week. So I will see you for the live stream tonight. And yeah, I think I've got to. That was a lot of comic books, man. I seriously got to cut down on all these comic books. Way too much. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for me. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon. If you get a chance, there's 2 more days for you guys to sign up, 3 more days. 2 or 3 more days for you guys to sign up so that you can reap the benefits of the November 1st rewards, which will be part 2 of my Batman vs. Superman review because it's a big freaking movie. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.